Yo, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte. We are looking today at the finalists for the Rookie of the Year award here in the 2021 NHL season. Heading into award season, and we're starting to get some finalists announced over the last couple weeks. And this week, it was the Rookie of the Year. And there's some really solid candidates. Karil Caprizov, Alex Nedelkovich, as well as Jason Robertson. We'll be taking a look at all three of those guys, and I'm leaving my prediction for who I think will win the Rookie of the Year this year. We'll be looking at that in this video. So, let's move the mic real quick. First things first. Gotta have the good audio for you guys. We've been working on that. And, apologize for that little... Okay, we're good now. So, Rookie of the Year, the Calder Trophy. Who should win the Calder Trophy here in the 2021 NHL season? Now, of these three players, only one of them is still playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs at the time of recording this video. And that is Alex Nedeljkovic. I almost messed it up again. I know my Canes fans out there, the Caniacs, have reminded me how to pronounce it correctly. So, Nedeljkovic. Not Nedelkovich, Nedelkovich. He is the only one left in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and he is the goaltender of the Carolina Hurricanes. So we might as well start things there if we're already talking about Nedelkovich. So during his regular season, he played in 23 games this season. Now, he's only played in 29 games in his NHL career, so he's played 6 games before this season. And he wasn't anything to write home about in his first year last year. He really wasn't that good. This year, though, a different story. He's been really solid this year for the Carolina Hurricanes. Just looking at his numbers during the regular season. 15 wins in 23 starts. He has a 1.90 goals against average and a .932 save percentage. Some really solid numbers there. Now, again, goals against average, that's pretty good. Below 2. But again, a lot of people will argue, oh, that's a team stat. Okay. All that aside, the save percentage, a .932. That's really impressive. And then you look at what he's done here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And it's definitely dropped a little bit, especially in this series against Tampa Bay. But he's still been really solid. He has 4 wins in his 8 starts. He has an above 2 goals against average, a 2.18. But he does still have a .920 save percentage, which is still one of the better in the NHL. So, again, it doesn't go off the overall, at the end of the day, the Rookie of the Year doesn't really account for the playoffs, especially because of Dallas Stars forward Jason Robertson, who didn't even play in the postseason this year. So, we might as well segue our way over to Jason Robertson, who... Yeah, he is the only one of these 3 guys that did not play in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. And some would argue that's enough of a reason for him, unfortunately, to maybe not win the trophy this year. And I'll explain that at the end of the video here. So Jason Robertson, in this season, he had 45 points in 51 games for the Dallas Stars this season. A really impressive season for Robertson. He played 3 games last year. He picked up an assist in one of those games. But this is the season where he really turned it up a notch, and he took advantage of more ice time. That's really what it came down to. And the former second-round pick back in 2017, he's only 21 years old. He looks like a really solid player for the Dallas Stars moving forward. And then the big one, the reason I'm wearing the Minnesota Wild jersey. No shock here. We're looking at the Russian superstar Karil Caprizov. And Karil Caprizov, at 24 years old, he is on a little bit of an older side, especially for a skater. You know, because Alex Nedeljkovic, he is 25 years old. But we also remember that goaltenders tend to develop a little bit longer. Yes, you obviously have your exceptions to the rule, like Marc-Andre Fleury, or... looking like a Spencer Knight right now, or Rick DiPietro. Never mind. But Karil Caprizov, 24 years old, and guys, he is a former 5th round pick back in the 2015 NHL draft, and he's finally playing in the NHL. He was the 135th pick in that draft, just to remind you guys. But look at what he did during the regular season, because that's really what they're going to account for the most. He had 51 points in 55 games this season, 27 goals, 24 assists, a really solid first season in North America in Minnesota for Kaprizov. He also picked up 3 points in his 7 playoff games. He was fairly quiet in the postseason, but he was able to notch in 2 goals against the Vegas Golden Knights in that series. He was a -3. That is something you might want to account for a little bit, but again, that's a team stat as well, so take with that what you will. So now comes the question, who would you pick to win this trophy out of these 3 guys, right? You've got, Alex Nedelkovich. I almost did it again. Alex Nedeljkovic, the goaltender, who his team is still in the Stanley Cup playoffs here in the second round, taking on Tampa. You have Karil Caprizov, who took his team to the first round to play the Minnesota Wild and, put the Golden Knights up against the wall in Game 7, and unfortunately lost, but, took them the distance. And then Jason Robertson, who just, sort of added the goal scoring that the Dallas Stars have been kind of lacking the last couple of years. So I think a lot of you would agree with me. Maybe not all of you, but for the majority of you, especially my Minnesota Wild fans out there, the winner of this trophy, it's a toss-up between Kaprizov and Nedelkovich for me, but I'm going to go with Karil Caprizov. And the reason for that is, we don't know, let's put it this way, if Nedelkovich goes and wins a Stanley Cup with the Carolina Hurricanes, that may change my opinion on who wins this trophy. But as of right now, here today, Karil Caprizov is the difference maker. And it's not just because he was the rookie of the year. This kid, he has so much skill, highlight reel goals, and at the end of the day, what he did to the Minnesota Wild team this season. He has turned a team that lacked goal scoring for the past couple years. They've been riddled with injuries with some of their top guys like Parise and guys that they should be expecting goals from. I mean, look what he's done this season to Kevin Fiala. Fiala had a pretty good season last year. He boosted Fiala this season. Kind of sort of developed guys like, Joel Eriksson Ek, who really have now confidence with that team because Karil Caprizov has come in there and just added scoring to this team. And this is the new age of the Minnesota Wild. They are going to be, going through a little bit of a cleaning house, I think, over the next couple years. I don't really know the best way to say it. I feel like that's really the way to go with it because the thing is, the Minnesota Wild, especially when we see guys like Marco Rossi come into this team next season, Matthew Boldy, you're going to see this team really become the team that really, Minnesota Wild fans have been hoping for. And the thing is, it's been a lot, since Bill Guerin's gotten there, it's been a lot of selling of hope. And you run into a lot of trouble when you go off of projections and hope. You could ask the Buffalo Sabres about that. So it's one of those things where Bill Guerin, this team has had a lot of success this season. And it's hard to argue if Karil Caprizov was or wasn't in the lineup, would this team be better? And I hate to put down a guy like maybe Alex Nedeljkovic or a guy like Jason Robertson, but Jason Robertson and the Dallas Stars actually regressed. Now again, I'm not blaming Jason Robertson for the Dallas Stars' lack of success. Yes, it's not Jason Robertson's fault. There were a lot of other factors, but the team, at the end of the day, it goes off of what are the results? They missed the playoffs. Minnesota, who missed the playoffs last year, gets into the postseason this year, takes Vegas to 7 games. That's improvement for the Minnesota Wild. And for the Carolina Hurricanes, you could make the argument that if James Reimer or Peter Mrazek were in there, they'd probably be in the same boat where they are right now with whoever was the hot hand going into the postseason. So the question is, what is the Calder Trophy? We talk about this even with the Norris Trophy with defensemen. They're going to have to make another trophy here because it's sort of the same thing. Or you just have to define what is the Rookie of the Year because that's all it is. It's very open. And the question is, what is the Rookie of the Year? Is it the player that is the most valuable rookie to his team and, got the team from one spot to improvement when he came into the lineup? Or is it just based off of, well, he was the best, he just put up the most points this season, give him the trophy? And if that's the case, you'd still give it, I think, to Karil Caprizov because he did put up the most points. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be Karil Caprizov. Like I said, that could change here with Nedelkovich, depending on how the season ends. But like I said, Carolina would likely be in the same spot if they had Peter Mrazek or James Reimer in the fold. We know Rod Brind'Amour likes to run two goaltenders during the Stanley Cup playoffs. He hasn't done that yet this year with Nedelkovich. I almost did it again. It's going to take some time, but Nedelkovich, is he the true starter, or is this just a blip on the radar thing? And that you could say the argument for the two Calder finalists. I mean, I hate to make this argument, but I mean, you even for my own Islanders, Matt Barzal, who won the Calder Trophy, he's not a point per game player. Brock Besser, look how good he was in his rookie season, and he's sort of fallen off in his own regard as well. So we see a lot of players where they do really well that first season, and they never seem to catch that spark. They hit the sophomore slump, defenses start to figure out their tendencies, and the young player is never able to adapt his game and make the adjustments needed in that third year, or they just lost so much confidence in year two where they never get back to that form they were, when they were drafted and played that first season. But it doesn't happen to everybody, but it is something you have to consider. Am I going to look at this video next year and look like a goof because I'm picking Karil Caprizov over Nedeljkovic or Jason Robertson? Maybe. But as of this point, who is the most valuable? Who added the most to his team this past offseason as a rookie? It's hard to argue that Karil Caprizov is absolutely, not at the top of that list. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Who do you think should be the winner of the 2021 Rookie of the Year trophy, the Calder Trophy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL and more videos just like this one, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And an even bigger subscribe down below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.